Breaking right now, she's done it again. Meghan Markle has ripped off her new podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder, from this woman. And it is particularly shameful because this woman is exactly the sort of person who you'd think Meghan Markle would want to back. Katie Mattea, young Irish woman, entrepreneur, who literally launched the show Confessions of a Female Founder in October 2023. Here's the video.
Guys, my name's Katie. I'm founder and owner of Veil Street. So excited to kick off today's video, and I want to give you guys a grand welcome to episode 1 of Confessions of a Female Founder, tell all series where I share my experiences and advice as a 23-year-old entrepreneur. I've been in business since the age of 16.
Angela Levin, our Royal Mastermind, joins me now. Angela, this has to be her lowest blow yet, her biggest ripoff yet, because this poor woman, Katie Mattea, who came up with Confessions of a Female Founder, has actually posted on Instagram overnight saying, what is happening and how'd I get dragged into this? In other words, Meghan hasn't even approached her and said, can I use this name? Can I give you some money to take your intellectual copyright? Nope, she's just gone and done it. And I feel that, it's so shameless.
Well, it is. It's hugely shameless. But it does tell you that she never learns. She never wants to actually acknowledge that she's made a mistake. We all make mistakes. Say, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize. I must have dreamt it or something like that. She couldn't give a moment's thought to anybody else. And that is Meghan, exactly what she's like. She's a monster. She couldn't care about anyone. And that's what she does. She just takes it and that's it. Never mind, it's stolen, actually, isn't it? It's absolutely stolen. She couldn't care about that at all.
I mean, Angela, I couldn't agree with you more. It's completely stopped. I mean, what, we're meant to believe that Meghan didn't see this or her team didn't see this, yet it's exactly the same name. And as you say, Angela, if this was a one-off mistake and she admitted it, then maybe we'd be okay with it. But her track record of rip-offs is just constant. I mean, actually, we spoke about it earlier in the week, and we'll be putting up a video at the weekend of you completely exposing her ripping off Martha Stewart's one pot pasta video in With Love Meghan. So unfortunately, Meghan Markle doesn't have an original idea in her own head, but I just think this one in particular is so shameful because she claims to care about young women launching their own businesses, yet she is prepared to rip this young woman off. Now, what should happen now, Angela, is there should be an apology and money should exchange hands. But do you think that will happen?
No, she just pretends it's not happening. We have seen for 5 years now that if she makes a mistake or she's very rude or, says something or behaves somewhere, and it is absolutely not accepted. She just closes the door in her mind. You don't see her for a few days, then up she pops, couldn't care less, off she goes. Sometimes people say that she's very upset and she's been crying, but I don't think so. I think she's so hardened that she couldn't care less because she's not trying to improve at all with anybody, to anybody. And I think it's absolutely appalling. And when she's being on, different programs, she couldn't care less about anything there. Nothing. I think she is just revolting. And that's why Harry is in such a state, because he can't understand what he should do next. He loves her, part of her, but, she's the sort of woman that you can't ever really say, well, don't say that about me. Don't do this about me. Don't allow me only 3 minutes in your 8 instant in your work. I'd like to be a bit more. He doesn't dare. So that's what I've said for a long time, that he's scared of her because she couldn't care less about anyone. And as for the royal family, she would love to do it. I read actually this morning that somebody said that she couldn't care less about them. And she really, her ideal is to hurt them in any way that she could. And this is even beyond that, isn't it?
Yes.
For a young girl like that, who's been very hard and
A young
probably spent
female
days
founder. Yep. Exactly.
thinking about what to do, and yet she couldn't care less. And we see that because she says one thing and she does another. The hypocrisy is just extraordinary. But I think it's now coming to a head where she's going ridiculously around. I mean, she's doing one thing after another because she wants to be seen and heard, and she adores Instagram. It's like her best friend now, and she's going to talk and talk and talk. She can't stop, and she won't let anybody else stop her. This picture of her, she looks as if she's from a sort of, there's been a terrible effect, and she looks very dangerous. And don't come after me. Look, it's very, very hard, her face. I am the queen. I'm the one who owns this.
Don't mess with me.
Exactly. Don't mess with me. She looks like that. Now, if you wanted to be positive and saying, I'm talking to a lot of girls, a lot of women, and we're going to talk about all things, and I'm going to learn lots of things, then you expect some sort of smile, some sort of enthusiasm. This is definitely don't mess with me.
Big time, which is the new era, isn't it? But my goodness, Angela, the reaction to this podcast, whoa, it was really strong. The Spectator headlined their coverage, Does Meghan Need Another Podcast? And their writer, Alistair Lahman, said, success, Winston Churchill supposedly once remarked, is the ability to go from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. If this is indeed the case, then Meghan Markle's 2025 thus far represents a remarkable series of triumphs and victories. Alex Phillips, very good, wasn't it? Alex Phillips, our friend, a regular here on Outspoken, posted on X, the only thing you've found, speaking to Meghan Markle, is a mentally ill prince with mummy issues you manipulate. And the Royal News Network, Angela, she actually changed the title of the show and said, fixed it. Meghan Markle should title her show Confessions of a Grifter. Now that I would listen to. According to Taz, another regular here said, oh no, please no. There is not enough Advil in the world. Why not do a podcast called Confessions of a Femme Fatale? Get your bingo cards ready, folks. Talks over guests, anecdotes about her life with every guest, swipes at the royal family, lies about her childhood. And Angela, what was quite astonishing about this, and again, it was pointed out by Brittany at the Royal News Network, there's only 8 episodes. Brittany says that's pathetic. Wonder if she had a tough time getting guests, and that's why the number is so small.
Yeah, but it's, I mean, she's not going to listen to any of those 8 women. We saw with Spotify that people weren't allowed to have a conversation. What she feels anywhere really is to tell them about herself. She's not interested. She might ask a quick question. She doesn't know how to interview. She doesn't know how to ask questions. It's, I'm telling you about me. Then when she's traveling and she went to see a whole load of children, she said, and I'm sure you want to know all about how I did this, and I was very good at school, and I told everybody what they should do and how they should do it. It's she feels that we all get enormous pleasure from knowing everything she does and how she does it. We don't, but she won't recognize that. She's not interested. But it's a waste of time talking to these ladies. She doesn't even allow them to say very much, because she'll be in the second sentence and she'll be telling them all about her and how dreadful it was and how awful it was. And she was so upset, but she struggled through and she's made it. And, oh, she's so thrilled. And you have to do what I'm doing, which is keep going. Oh, really? I think she's one of the most hated women in the world now. She was the most famous, and now I think she's the most hated, because you go through loads of people and I can't find anybody who likes her, who thinks, unless she pays them, But unless she thinks that that she's all right, she's not. I'm going to get a load of letters from and emails from all her friends and her paid friends.
Yeah,
But
but
never mind.
they're a diminishing number, Angela, because look, it's really interesting that you point out the reaction across the world, because what's fascinating to me is how much negativity there is now emanating from the United States of America and Canada. And I wanted to share a couple of examples of you about that I've picked up over the past 24 hours, Angela, from very highly respected people, actually, across the political spectrum too. So Gad Sad.
Not people who want to be unkind.
No.
People who are not unkind, but they can't stand her. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Gad Sad, for example, he posted, "It is almost impossible to imagine someone who is more vacuous in her delusional narcissism than this degenerate." And then this line I thought was very funny, Angela. "Her wife, Harry, is clueless."
I know.
He's very clever. And then actually, this is more interesting though, because as you say, it's from people who don't want to be negative. Mary Catherine Ham, she's a Democrat in America and widely considered to be a very kind person. But first, we've partnered with Gundry MD to share this information with you. Would you believe me if I told you that inside your pantry right now is one of the healthiest foods on the planet? Yep, it's true, but it's not some weird, trendy superfood. Spoiler alert, it's olive oil. You're probably used to cooking with it, but there are countless ways to use olive oil to help yourself look and feel younger. For example, olive oil is a natural way to help you achieve a more youthful appearance. Besides helping you look younger on the outside, it's a fantastic tool for your insides as well. According to Dr. Stephen Gundry, a famous cardiothoracic surgeon, nutrition expert, and health advocate, you should get as much high-quality olive oil into your daily routine as possible, whether it's taking a shot of it daily or keeping a bottle of it in your bathroom medicine cabinet. But what kind of olive oil is best for your health? Well, any olive oil can give you some benefits, but if you're looking to get the best result, it matters a lot which one you pick. The olive oil industry is huge. I mean, look, you can just tell when you go into the supermarket, the grocery store, and you see all of the brands, right? But you can bet they're not all made with the consumer in mind. Many brands may even cut corners one way or another to increase profits. And when Dr. Gundry came to that realization, he was appalled. But some olive oils are so powerful, it may only take a few tablespoons a week to see these incredible health benefits. So, how can you tell between an olive oil that can be a health booster and one which isn't up to par? In an effort to answer that question, Dr. Gundry has decided to take a stand and release his personal research and findings. This video has gone viral since its release, and it's important you see it so you can start benefiting immediately. You can watch the video right now by going to getolive1.com/outspoken or by clicking on the link in the description box below. That's getolive1.com/outspoken or just click on the link in the description box below. People who have taken his advice have shared their results with him, saying the olive oil they bought after learning his simple rules has helped to change their lives. So make sure you go to getolive1.com/outspoken or just click on the link in the description box below this video. And she posted, "Meghan Markle violates my press release rule. Each person only gets so many press releases allotted in a lifetime. Graduations, marriages, divorces, babies, job changes. Other people only have so much capacity to celebrate or be excited about your stuff. This is why a third wedding announcement, or say a fourth baby, might get less fanfare than a first. Fair enough, you have stuff going on. The modern social media era has exacerbated the press release problem, as everyone has made a press release of everything. Your gender reveals, your 100k followers, your therapy breakthrough, your second gender ID change, and third sexual proclivity announcement. At some point, people just can't care. And at another point, they get annoyed you're insisting they care. We are on at least Meghan's 6th or 7th public reinvention at this point, her 5th or so product launch. Each an uncomfortable false start, followed by a period of highly paid, inauthentic, and unimpressive work. There are too many press releases. Many people were at can't care anymore a while ago and might not have progressed to so annoyed, except her brand cohesive, vertically synergistic, corporately required to recoup ubiquity for each launch leads us to a new cycle of wait. She's launching another podcast, bespoke jam, company, logo, ethos, last name, thought, leadership, mothership. Too many press releases.
But
Angela, doesn't she have it spot on?
The other side of it is that all these announcements, but they don't happen. We're still, if you're interested, waiting to be able to buy one of the things she's made, the jam or the tea. You still can't get it. They say now it's in April, but people have been waiting since last March. It's sort of ironic and ridiculous, and makes you not know anything that's going on. But I think that's what she wants. She wants to muddle us all up, so we can't work her out. She's just so amazing that we can't actually analyze her properly. But why do you do things when you know that nobody can buy it, nobody can comment on it? If you want to sell something, you want to do it that will make the person very excited at the same time as they're listening to you, so they can try and get it. Here, you're never going anywhere. You're in a puddle, not going anywhere. It's a sort of ridiculous way of behaving, but she's got to have it. It's like, she's starving for as much attention as possible. And now she's got Instagram. Nobody can stop her. No one.
No, indeed, because we get to see the real Meghan. Now, Angela, by contrast, you see true class. And I think true class is really developing at the moment with this relationship between the Beckhams, Victoria Beckham, and King Charles and Camilla. But there is a fascinating side story to all of this, because, of course, Camilla and Victoria Beckham were at Buckingham Palace this week, and we've got some footage actually of them having a lovely conversation, which we can take a little look at. But there's an undertone to this, isn't there, Angela? Because it suits both parties. Because remember, the Beckhams were previously allied to the Sussexes until they realised just how awful Meghan was, and now they've become such a big part of King Charles and Camilla's court. They're doing a lot of stuff together.
Yes. I always think that David Beckham is after having a really good sort of Sir David.
Oh, he wants the knighthood more than anything in the world. Anything in the world.
And I think that they're both working towards that as much as they possibly can, laughing at their jokes, also going to have bees and honey. If you're doing it, so am I, so we've got this in common as well. And I think, not that they're cunning, but I think they've got that ambition that it will work very well. I mean, Camilla, as I know her, is with her for over a year, is that she's always charming, but you can't make her say something or do something she doesn't really want to. She's very strong. She sees right through you, and she knows the time to be very polite and talk to you a little bit, or she knows just to say a quick sentence and go on to someone else, all done beautifully, seamlessly. But it is interesting now that they're everywhere. They were having a dinner there, a sort of Italian dinner, weren't they, at Highgrove a few weeks ago. So they're there whenever they're needed. And I think they are needed because they're attractive and they look nice. But I think David sort of taking off a lot of his clothes and having pictures of him with all this, ink all over him, I don't think that's ideal.
It's interesting, though, isn't it? Because they certainly feel like it's a coup, having secured the support of the Beckhams. Because remember, Angela, the big falling out between the Beckhams and Harry and Meghan was over the fact, and it's just so preposterous, that Meghan tried to claim that Victoria Beckham was leaking stories, which is just, I mean, trust me, I covered the Beckhams for years and years and years and years. There's just no way Victoria Beckham did that.
No, but also the other thing was that Meghan said that they were telling lies about them, and also they wouldn't let her have free jackets and coats and dresses. She was very cross. She thought that Victoria should give her free things, and I don't know whether she did or she didn't, but why should she? She's making her living. But she was very cross that she was going to make her pay things. There we are. There he is. I think actually, if you're trying to get the right side of the king, you shouldn't be dressing like that. And also keeping his legs open. That's it. Yeah, not quite behaved.
I have a feeling there'll be quite a few people watching, Angela, who might disagree with you on that and say, keep it going, David. Keep taking those clothes off. But yeah, there you go. Look, the thing is, I know the real David Beckham. The real David Beckham isn't some nice guy. He's not doing this for altruistic reasons. He wants his knighthood. I read all of the Becky Leak emails. He doesn't do this stuff for charity. He thinks it's terrible that Catherine Jenkins got an honour and that he didn't when she had been exposed for taking drugs, or she'd revealed that she'd taken drugs many, many years ago. So look, I see right through what David Beckham's doing, but I do think this is a real victory for the royal family because they secured the glamour of the Beckhams, and the Beckhams will have nothing to do with Harry and Meghan now. Nothing to do with them, Angela.
Well,
they will not attend Invictus because remember what Harry did to David Beckham. He had gone to Sydney for the Invictus Games and Harry snubbed him. It was terrible.
He asked Harry if he wanted him to go, and Harry said yes. So he got on the plane. It's a long journey, as well, And when he got there, Harry wouldn't talk to him. He let him go all that way. And then wouldn't talk to him. And I think that's some incredibly bad behaviour. I think he was too scared maybe to say something, well, look, don't bother to come. But I think to let somebody do all that, go all that long journey, was a terrible mistake. And he
took his children. I mean, it was just appalling. It was an appalling way for Harry to behave. And meanwhile, Angela, we're getting to see a lovely side of Prince William this week again. So he loves his football, right? He absolutely loves his football. In fact, look at this great selfie picture, Angela. I just thought this was so sweet. Someone at one of the games, and they see William there, and he's smiling along. He's loving it. He just feels very comfortable. And then you've got this front page of the Sun newspaper, Angela, where he's sat down with the Sun, really opened up about his love of football. And there's a very fun video with one of the big England stars where he's joking about, well, he's having to choose between which footballer he likes the best. And it's just a lovely, fun side of William, which I thought we'd have a watch of, and then I'd get your reaction.
Gary Lahore, Gary Neville.
Agbon Lahore. That's easy, that's too easy.
Gabby Agbon Lahore, Tyrone Mings.
You.
Oh, yes!
It's gotta be.
I knew I'd get
I can't
an
do that
answer in
with
this.
you here. Come on.
Tyrone Mings or Rio Ferdinand.
Rio's gonna kill me. Tyrone.
Let's carry this on. Let's carry this on.
I've got to make this worth your while as well.
Tyrone Mings or Ronaldinho.
Oh, sorry, Ronaldinho.
Well,
it's gotta be.
It was good while it lasted. Ronaldinho or Zinedine Zidane.
Oh, Zidane.
Zinedine Zidane or David Beckham.
God, that's gonna hurt. Bex, I think just.
What made you just give it to Bex over Zinedine Zidane?
Who's more likely to see it?
Yes, that's also in the back of my mind. I think Bex might kill me if I don't say maybe longevity. I feel like Bex had a slightly longer career than Zidane, that's probably it.
David Beckham or R9?
R9.
R9 or Lionel Messi?
Oh, these are really tricky ones. Messi.
Messi or Ronaldo?
I've got to go Messi. He's won a World Cup. That's literally the only thing. That was nerve-wracking, but not too bad.
That was actually really tough. Think of a few on the way home.
I will, that's it. Why did I say that?
Oh, it was great, wasn't it, Angela? He loves his football, William. True fan.
I read all that through, which is rare for me to do about it, but I loved the way he responded. You know, he was roaring with laughter. He wasn't just laughing to be polite, and he was relaxed. I mean, you can't compare this with the William a few years ago, who was before he really got to be a father, that he was very tense, and you'd never be laughing like that. He might not even do that sort of guessing game, but he's enjoying his life, and I think that Catherine being much better for the moment anyway, and hopefully for forever, that he feels so happy and relaxed and enjoying life, and it's lovely, absolutely lovely to see. And he did say, which was very sweet, that he will never try to make any of the children, that includes Charlotte, to follow a particular game by anybody. He wants them just to choose themselves, but they jolly well better do the one that he really likes. It was very sweet. It's very touching. He's a family man, and you see him much better and happier, and that's absolutely lovely, I think.
Very, very, very lovely indeed, and a nice way to end. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source, and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.